Win business with integrity. Can you do it? Yes, you can. You may be in a situation currently or have been in a situation where you've been asked to sell or to go out and present something on behalf of your company that you just don't feel was right and you couldn't do with integrity, with honesty and peace of mind. Well, I'm going to suggest that you don't have to do that, and quite frankly, you shouldn't, because if you're in sales and business development, what gets this industry a bad reputation is for people that do that. So let me give you some suggestions how you can sell with integrity. I believe that the starting point for integrity is to earn the right. Earning the right involves following a number of very clearly defined logical steps that engages you with your client in a way that they trust you. Think of this. Have you ever gone into a store, or maybe you had somebody call you over the phone and they're trying to pitch you, they're selling you, they're salesy, let's call it what it is. And you just, your back goes up, the force field goes up, you don't trust, and because you don't trust, you don't hear. Let's juxtapose that to a person that you maybe have been dealing with or are dealing with currently, and you're satisfied with what they're selling you and providing you. And because of their approach is one of earning your trust and understanding your requirements, not only do you buy from them, you keep buying from them and you buy more, and you talk to your friends about them and say, hey, if you want this, fill in the blank, you should go talk to this person. Well, that level of integrity in selling is something that follows a very simple path. And I believe the first 3 steps to selling with integrity based on earning the right are by effective engagement. Engaging people that not only require and want your products or services or expertise, but that have the ability to buy it, because there's nothing worse than trying to make a sale to someone who can't afford, doesn't have a current need, and doesn't want what you have. So that's where you just got to be smart. Engage people and connect with people that have a requirement, that have a problem or a requirement that you can address. The second thing before you recommend any solution is make sure you understand what they want. What are their needs? What are their wants? What are they trying to avoid? It's not just always focusing on the positive, it's really also understanding what they're trying to avoid. How this is often phrased is what keeps them awake at night. It sounds a bit cliched, and I guess if that works for you, that's fine. But I prefer to think of it more from the perspective of what keeps people from achieving their goals, from achieving their objectives and outcomes. Because if you can understand what that is, what they want and what they're trying to avoid, then you can move into the next step, which I call discovery. And if you think of this, it's a great word. When you go through a discovery process, it's uncovering, it is revealing, it is connecting. Because the way that you discover what your prospective or existing customer wants or wants more of from you is by asking questions. Let me give you an example of what actually happened to me as it relates to selling with integrity. I have often over the years received calls or referrals from people that know me or what I do with a request for put together a proposal, give me a fee, put together a scope of what you can do for us. And before I do that, I will always, as I've been saying in this video, try to understand what the requirements. Am I talking to the right people? What do they want or what do they need or what are they trying to avoid? And then ask enough questions to really understand if I can provide a solution. And here's what happened more than once. I came to the conclusion where I realized that after asking questions that they either didn't need training or coaching or whatever the service was that I provided, or they didn't need it now. And what actually won me work, in the short term it cost me, but it didn't cost me anything because it wasn't work I should have had, and if I would have done it, the client probably wouldn't have been happy. So what it cost me was really nothing. What it gave me was trust and a relationship that then led down the road to that client coming back or them referring me to someone because of what I didn't do. And this is really important. Integrity sometimes comes down to what you don't do rather than what you do. In this case, I didn't sell them something that they didn't need, want, or could afford. I recommended that they either not do it or they do something different. And I had people often, and there was one large contract that I won early on when I first started my business for that very simple technique and strategy that I'm sharing with you, turned into 3 major contracts that were high ticket value and really helped me build my brand and my reputation. So not only does this work, this works really well. And I would suggest if you're in sales and business development and building your career here for long-term gain, these are the techniques that help you to build a career rather than just have sales as a job.